So CMMC 2.0 is, I would say that the biggest thing that has been challenging people is how to make it practical, particularly for SMBs. And I'm sure you get that question all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So what is kind of the short answer you give people when they say, how do we make this SMB friendly? You know, how do I make CMMC 2.0 practical for my business?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is we need to take the overwhelmingness and the intimidation factor out, because it's very overwhelming and very intimidating to, small and medium businesses, because they're thinking of it from an IT point of view. They're thinking, what do I need to do IT wise? And they're not necessarily thinking about, their people, because that's what it's really all about. And this is where the focus of cybersecurity moving forward in the future with everything is going to have to do with is your people, because you could have the best IT company systems in place or whatever. And if somebody that works there picks up the phone and they think they're on the phone with HR and they give away credentials, or they click on something and they download something, or, that's where the problems are causing. 85% of the problems are being caused right there. So that's where we should be focusing on. But we just need to say, it's a cultural change, and everybody says that, they use their term, this is a cultural change. But the way that I look at it is, if you teach people to help themselves, help their families, help protect their houses, these smart devices that everybody loves to just grab and take out of the box and plug in, they're not even thinking about the security implications of anything, so, but if you teach them, when you buy a new thing, you need to look at what the security and privacy settings are, what is your kid doing online, have these conversations at their dinner table. How are they protecting their house? What are their kids doing? What are their elder parents doing when they get a phone call and somebody says it's the IRS on the phone? And that's the kind of stuff. So if we start there, it changes the way we think about things, and it's going to naturally spill over to the workplace. So if we could start with that, as opposed to starting with, okay, we're going to put 117 practices in place and everyone's got to start following this access control thing, and all this language and jargon gets thrown around, and they're like, what are we doing? And then you just say, we're just going to make sure we know who's getting into the system, how they're getting into the system, and break it down into that kind of thing. So that's the first thing I say, is just take the intimidation factor out.